Hey, welcome to Randy's Road Life. I am Randy, that is I. Of course, you've seen the title to this video. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of this video, please like and subscribe, follow this. My whole mission is to help you and me move forward in our careers, as individuals and as business people. Whether you're a man or woman, it really doesn't make a difference, And it'd be so better if truck drivers were more united, like we used to be. I remember those old days because I grew up in those old days with my stepdad and my biological father being truck drivers for decades. My real father had probably been a truck driver, and drove a truck since he was a teenager, legally or not. He still was involved in that since he was a teen. So that's 4 decades that he dealt with that. And then my great dad, my stepdad, was an awesome guy and a great driver. I remember those old cab over days. So that's where my history is at, in my family and me personally. So it's not like that anymore, how we used to be. It's a lot of dog eat dog now. You got a lot of new drivers who are not trained properly to be truck drivers. There's a difference between someone who is behind a steering wheel, like this one right here, and someone who actually has been trained to become involved in the industry on several particular levels. We're dealing with truck stop etiquette, road etiquette, and just us, how we treat each other on top of that, And so the industry has been watered down so bad, and I hate that. It really bothers me. So anyways, this video is kind of dealing with that, but I'm dealing with Roadrunner Transportation's lease purchase program. Not it's kind of like cursory in a way. So let me get involved with that. All right. When you go to orientation at Roadrunner Transportation, like me and Trucker Todd did, all right, we were together in that orientation. You're gonna see a lot of Skype, things like that. We were in with the Wisconsin orientation, so they did a lot of Skyping. That's where most of our stuff came from, and we saw a lot of people and we talked to a lot of people. In my last video, I talked about Jim Flores, and Jim Flores Skyped from inside his Volvo 670, wherever he was at. And I want you guys to go back to my broker lowballing video. Look at the comments. I want you to look at Jim's comments on that, okay? Look at what he stated about lease purchase. I want you to see what he stated about lease purchase. And let us be objective and not treat him nor Roadrunner Transportation unfairly. Let's give them exactly what they deserve. All right. So this guy slammed lease purchase. Right. We are glorified company drivers, and apparently we don't pay taxes, or we try to get away out of our taxes. Now this guy is directly involved with lease purchase drivers. Okay. And I stated in that video that when a driver is having problems, financially or otherwise, they will either give him Jim's number to call, or Jim will call them. All right. But there's a conflict of interest here. There's hypocrisy involved. There's a contradiction. I don't need to go into all the vernacular to describe the situation and what it really is. All right. You have a driver who is the anti-driver. Okay. First, he supposedly helps drivers become successful or try to get into a niche in Roadrunner. All right. But then he comes on my channel and slams my comments about broker lowballing, which is extreme at this point. Because we're getting loads. We were getting loads that were up to $2 or more a mile, but now you're very lucky if you get over $1 a mile. I've been pretty lucky lately. My next load is paying me $1.44 a mile. That's my cut. So, and with that, it's like this guy's a driver, all right, but he's not bound like we are to lease purchase. He owns his own truck, he owns his own trailer, from what he says, and I have no reason to not believe that, all right. But him being placed in a position of responsibility dealing with lease purchase drivers, and then critically slamming us as glorified company drivers and tax evaders. All right, that's his own comments. Please go on my channel and on that video and look at his comments. Please, please, please look at his comments. Those are there for everybody to see. I didn't remove those comments. All right, I stand by everything I said to him in my replies, because I will defend our industry against anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. I don't care who it is. First of all, you got to lose your fear of companies and other people. It doesn't, who cares? Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. All right? Because at the end of the day, we have ourselves and our families we're trying to take care of. And that's what's important here. And the problem is the weird relationship truck drivers and brokers have. Brokers are always trying to lowball drivers. They're always trying to do it. They're trying to lowball us. And here we are with this overhead. We got truck payments, or we got truck maintenance. We got fuel costs. And man, it's such a blessing that fuel has went down for us with the unfortunate circumstances surrounding this virus. It's horrible. That part is horrible. Okay? But just review what this guy said and the position he maintains at Roadrunner Transportation. This is the guy that goes to the round table at Roadrunner. Every year he goes to Chicago to partake in the round table at Roadrunner and help make decisions that directly affect drivers. However, this man has been derogatory and disrespectful to the very capacity in which he assists lease purchase drivers. All right, it's a conflict of interest. He's the anti-driver, right? So almost like the Antichrist, he is the anti-driver. He is the worst of what a driver can be, right? Without wrecking and killing people. He's the worst. Because what driver would defend brokers when you're breaking truck drivers here? It's funny because brokers make money from us, off of us taking loads, but yet they lowball us at the same time. But they require us to take the loads. Do you know what would happen if us truck drivers as a whole decided to take 72 hours off at one time? That would be so climactic in and of itself, because first of all, freight not moving, essential freight not moving, and then we have to put it out there as the fault of the broker, because it's their fault. They're trying. At some point, we drive for free. We drive just to put fuel in our trucks and to keep paying for our truck. That's what we're driving for. We're not driving for anything else. It's sacrificing our time from our family and loved ones. That is the horrible part about this. And that statement that Jim made, and if you see that name, he puts it on there as Jim Flores. Now maybe Flowers was not available, but I do know Mr. Jim I think he has a Mexican wife or Hispanic wife. I'm not really sure. I think that is, and I think her last name might be Flores or something like that. So that's where he gets that name. But yes, Jim. Let's call him Jimmy. All right, because he's a child. He's a very immature child
whose
mindset is actually contradictory to that which he professes to assist and help. All right, gig is up, Roadrunner Transportation. This is the guy you employ. This is the guy you have at your round tables, and I'm disgusted by that. Truthfully, I am. You know, that's the negativity I have about Roadrunner Transportation. You know, none of it is going to be undue. None of it is going to be undeserving. That part, they deserve 110% of that. So, leave your comments, you know, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And with that, you know, I hope that you take all the good points away from this and you kind of understand what I'm saying. If you have a question about what I'm saying, or maybe you don't understand, please leave me a comment and ask the question. And I'll do my best to answer that question within a reasonable amount of time. All right, with that, you've just watched an episode of Randy's Road Life. It was impromptu, like my friend Trucker Todd says. And I hope you guys stay complicated and hope we make more money and, you know, ride out these miles, man, and take care of ourselves and our family and friends. Catch you next time. Bye.